All right, beginners, intermediates, advanced, pro, and black belt. Listen, the warm-up will be listed in a couple seconds. What I want you to do is go through the warm-up, and then when you're done, go ahead and get your stretching done, and then once you resume the video, your curriculum will be on the back end of the video. So, warm up well, and we'll see you back here in a couple minutes. All right, beginners, hope you're all warmed up after doing the warm-up we just did. Okay, now we're going to get into your curriculum, and the kick that we're working on this rotation is called your side kick. Side kicks are very powerful kicks, but they have to be done correctly. Really focus on the proper body position and the proper chamber. So what I want you to do, I want you to go find yourself a chair, because we're going to do what's called a chair drill, to keep our balance while we focus on the pieces of the kick. Now make sure whatever chair you get doesn't have wheels on the bottom, and it doesn't slide wherever you're doing your training. Okay, I'll go ahead and wait till you go get some kind of chair. You can also go ahead and use the wall as long as you have your mom and dad's permission to put your hand on the wall. All right, what you're going to do, I want to take my left hand and just put it on the chair, not leaning on it, just kind of using it for balance. Now, since my left hand is on the chair or the wall, my left foot, I want to turn that foot so the toes face the chair. What that starts to do, it gets my body turned sideways so I can do that side kick. Now what a lot of people do wrong with side kicks is that they don't chamber correctly. They don't pull it back far enough. So think if I had a bow and arrow, that if I only pulled the bow back a little bit, the arrow would only go a little ways. I wanted to pull that bow all the way back. So when I shot it, that arrow would really take off. We want to do the same thing with our kick. So after you turn that bottom foot, you're going to take your kicking leg, which is in front, and you're going to chamber it. And this is what most people do wrong. They have the chamber here. The chamber for a side kick has to come all the way back here. So it's almost reaching back to my back shoulder. The foot and knee should all be on the same line. And then what I want to do is go ahead and chamber them. Then when I kick, I go straight out and I'm kicking. I'm going to turn my foot towards the camera. Notice my toes are lower than the heel. And I do that because I'm hitting with just the bottom of my heel on that foot. So what you're going to do, you're going to go ahead and do side kick drills using a chair or a wall for balance. Make sure that bottom foot is turned. You're going to chamber back, nice and deep, kick all the way out, re-chamber all the way back, and put it down. Where you're going to feel it is right here in his hip flexor. If you feel it here, you know you're doing this correctly. Okay, I want you to do that exercise on the right leg. Do that 10 times. Okay, ready, and begin. All right, now that right leg's feeling good right about now. We got to do the same thing on the other side now. So now we're going to kick with our left leg. So now take the right foot, toes, faces the chair or the wall, whatever you're using for balance. And you're going to chamber back, all the way back. Kick all the way out. Remember, the toes are lower than the heel. Re-chamber and down. Chamber, kick, re-chamber and down. Your other hand, you can go out with your kick, or you can just keep it in tight like in a guarding stance. So chamber, kick out, in and down. Your goal is to try to get all your kicks above your belt level. So I want to be able to kick up to the rib side. Okay? So once again, chamber all the way back, kick out, re-chamber, and put it down. Ready? Let's go ahead and do 10 on the left side. Begin. Okay, beginners, now that you worked those side kick drills using a balance point, now we're going to go ahead and do our side kick with a step behind motion. And we call that a step behind side kick. So, from that fighting stance, I want to be in what's called a fighting horse stance to do this. So I'm going to be facing this way, but my focus is towards the front. So the camera is in front of the room, but my body is facing sideways, and my hands are up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my back leg, and I'm going to step behind my front leg. Not in front, because my body is going to turn the way I don't want it to. When I step behind, notice my bottom foot, my toes face behind me, just like they did when I turned my foot to face the chair in that last drill. So you're going to go ahead and step behind, chamber, side kick, re-chamber, and down. Step behind, chamber, side kick, chamber, and down. Good. So for that fighting horse stance, step behind. Notice how my body's turning. You're turning away from the direction I'm moving. Side kick and down. Step behind, chamber, that heel that I'm stepping behind with is facing the direction I want to kick. Kick out, re-chamber, and down. Good, so step behind, side kick, down. Step behind, side kick, and down. I want you to work both sides. Very important, get your body positioned sideways, so when I kick, I'm kicking strong. Okay, now I know some of you may not have a weight master at home, but that's okay. Doing these drills will really benefit you when you learn your side kick. This is how I learned to do my side kick when I was a white belt many, many years ago. But I do want to go ahead and hit a weight master just to demonstrate where the target is you're trying to hit. So the weight master is not my target. The target is the center of the weight master hitting my heel right in the center. So what I want to do is get in that horse stance I was in before. Step behind, chamber, kick, and down. So notice that kick is going straight out with my foot sideways. Step behind, chamber, and down. And I'm hitting the center of the bag with my heel. You don't want to hit it with the ball of the foot. I want to get the heel right in the center of that bag. Don't forget the chamber like we talked about in the other drill. So from here, stepping behind, side kick, and down. Very powerful strike if you chamber correctly by pulling it all the way back and hit with that heel. Okay, so some good ideas to think about when you're working on your side kicks. All right, beginners, we're really going to focus on our pattern as well. And the pattern that we work on is called Chun-Ji. C-H-O-N-J-I. And it means the beginning, heaven and earth. It's like the beginning of your martial arts training. There are 19 moves to it. Now, white belts, you need to know the first 4 moves. Yellow belts, you need to know the first 8 moves. And of course, high yellow belts, you need to know all 19 moves. All right? So I'm going to come up and I'm going to turn around so you'll see which direction I move so you don't get confused of me going backwards to what you're looking on the video. All right? So from here, move number 1. My left leg moves, my left arm blocks, and my body turns to the left. So from here, I chamber my left arm over by my right ear. Notice how I turn my head to see where I'm going. Step out with my left leg and low block. Make sure you're in a good front stance. Bend that front knee. Then step forward and do a middle section punch while pulling your other hand back. Move number 1. Good. Front stance, low block. My other hand's pulled back. We call that a backhand chamber. Then I step forward, both hands moving, and I do a middle section punch with my right hand. Now, since my right hand is out in Chun-Ji, it can give me a clue on which way I'm going to turn. If my right hand is out, I'm going to turn to the right. So we kind of follow our pinky. Since the right hand is out, I'm going to turn all the way around to face the other direction because my right hand is out. The hand I have out on the punch is the one I'm going to block with when I turn. So from here, my front leg is going to go behind me. So when I turn, I can low block with my right hand. Then I'm going to go ahead and step forward and middle section punch. From here, I'm now left hand's out. I'm going to turn to my left. But I'm only going to go part way because my left hand's out. So in, out, and low block. Good. Step forward and middle section punch. My right hand is out again. I'm going to turn all the way around. Front leg goes behind me. As I turn, I can low block with my right hand. Step forward. Middle section punch. And key up on move number 8. So far I've done a low block punch this way, a low block punch that way, a low block punch this way, and a low block punch this way. Now, how y'all about you need to know the rest of the pattern. Once I key it the second time, I'm now, since my left hand is out, I'm going to turn to my left, but now it's no longer low blocks. We're going to middle block the rest of the way through the pattern, but still doing those middle section punches after. We're also going to go into what's called a back L stance. So instead of the weight being on my front leg, the weight now is on my back leg, and I'm doing a middle block. So I'm in a back L stance. When I step, I do that punch, I'm back in that front stance. My right hand is out. Remember, I'm going to turn all the way around, face the other way. But since I'm in the second half of the pattern, they're all middle blocks now. In what kind of stance? That's right, the back L stance. Step forward, front stance, middle section punch. My left hand is out. I only go part way. Since I'm in the second half of the pattern, it's a middle block again. And a back L stance. Stepping forward, middle section punch. My right hand is out. I'm going to turn all the way around the other way. It's the second half of the pattern. I do a middle block and a back L stance. Then I step forward and punch. Now, I just did a middle block punch this way, middle block punch this way, middle block punch this way, middle block punch this way. Now we're going to end the pattern with 3 more punches. 1 moving forward and 2 moving backwards. So I step forward and punch. Then I step backwards, punch 1 time, back 2 times, and key up on that last move. And then back to the beginning. All right, so that's all the pattern chunji. So you have low blocks, middle punches, middle blocks, you have back L stances, and you have front stances. So you want to make sure what stances go with what techniques in pattern chunji. All right, great job, beginners. So we did our warm-up, we did our side kick drills using something to bounce on, whether it was a chair or a wall. And then we also worked on the step behind motion, making sure you're stepping behind the front leg, make sure the heel is pointed, chambering, kicking, and then rechambering. And then we did that technique, not only called a side kick, but the step behind side kick. All right, let's go ahead and bow out. So chill and kunyi. All right, nice and loud. Now to the mind, honesty to heart, straighten the body, feel sun. All right, great job, everyone.